Becca B.
Thank you. Good morning, New Thought Spiritual Center. Hooray, it's springtime. Yay! Happy Mother's Day. First things first. Moms, would you please stand up for just a moment and let's recognize you and send our love. Yay! Woo-hoo! All right. Please be seated. Thank you so much. I'm going to start off our time this morning with today's daily word, which some of you know is the Unity publication of devotionals. And I was thrilled to see that Daily Word on June 1st will celebrate its 90th year of publication. That's awesome. In this day and age, can you imagine 90 years of publication? So as a special acknowledgement to all of our mothers everywhere, today's Daily Word is Mother's Blessings. And the affirmation is, I am a gracious giver and receiver of motherly love. Would you say that with me? I am a gracious giver and receiver of motherly love. Today, I celebrate mothers everywhere. Biological mothers, adoptive mothers, and my mother. Women who are trailblazers, caregivers, mentors, and mothers to the masses. I celebrate Mother Nature in all her glory, and the divine feminine as part of me. Motherly spiritual qualities contribute to peace, healing, and joy in the world and in my life. I take a moment to reflect on a time when I comforted a child. Perhaps I listened, hugged, or shared encouraging words. I call to mind memories of when I felt nurtured, held, or lifted up by someone else. The act of mothering is so important. I am grateful for the feminine spiritual qualities enriching my life and the lives of family and friends. Today's daily word was inspired by Genesis 17:16. I will bless her, and she will give rise to nations. A mother's blessings. Now, if you saw our talk title this morning, Roots and Wings, on the internet, it's from a TV commercial. I was inspired by a Dodge Ram truck commercial this morning. If you haven't seen it, it's a lovely little country video by Miranda Lambert, and it's very sweet. But I just got fascinated with the combination of those two words together, roots and wings, particularly in keeping with our connection theme this month, and particularly for this Mother's Day Sunday. When I was in seminary a couple of years ago, one of my very favorite lecturers was a Native American spiritual leader, Frank, whose tribal name was Walking Bear. His message was very simple and direct, and as you might imagine, he focused our spiritual connections to Mother Earth and Mother Nature. He said two things that I'll never forget: that human beings are like the trees, connected to heaven and earth, and that all trees are connected under the earth at their roots in a web of life, just like all human beings are connected in spirit. Walking Bear encouraged us to stand tall on the earth like a tree each morning and offer this blessing to the day. I stand in a sacred manner as a tree of life, rooted in the earth and embracing the sky. In this circle of power and energy, I take them as a blessing and a healing, and I transform this in love and send it out to my relations on Mother Earth. Isn't that lovely? And what a powerful idea to set our intentions every day to stand tall and to stay grounded in the energy and power and blessings that God provides. To embrace that strength and to radiate it out into the world to all our relations, to our fellow human beings, to the animals and the plants, the air and the sea and the sky. As spiritual beings having a human experience, I like to imagine our tree roots as the ideas and concepts that anchor us in spirit as we navigate our lives. And the wings? Well, not just angel wings, but more like the joy and the surging energy of good that flows out into the world from each one of us as we lift each other on this journey called life. Now, when you get right down to it physically, we have a few things in common with trees. We both stand upright, we both have flexible limbs, and we're all connected to a central trunk. Like us, trees have great diversity. Over 23,000 varieties: pine, palm, apple, banana, redwood, dogwood. And all of those varieties scrub our air and bless us with oxygen and food and paper and shelter. Trees are natural healers, producing an infinite number of medicines, those found and those yet to be discovered in our rainforests. At the spiritual level, I believe that trees inspire us to acknowledge something larger than ourselves. I remember spending hours as a little girl lying under our pine trees, listening to their whispering as the wind blew. And later as an adult, when I finally stood under the giant sequoias in Yosemite, I thought about the lyrics of the little children's hymn, Green Cathedral, that says, "I know a green cathedral, a shadowed forest shrine, where leaves in love join hands above and arc your prayer and mine." Trees just make things better on the earth, I believe, and it's easy to see them as givers of motherly love. Quiet time under the shade of a tree can bring great comfort and solace, as we see in our gardens and in our cemeteries. Walking Bear's Native American tradition echoes the universal principle, the concepts of harmony and unity and connection between heaven and earth. Now, a divine connection means that every presence on this planet, human, animal, plant, and mineral, is a unique expression of God, and that we are all interdependent, no separation, just like we sang. A web of life together. All beings are connected. So when we look at the word roots, the part of the plant that brings water and nourishment up to the plant, it also means origin or source. And I love the idea of our lives being rooted in source, to the one and only source, God the good. So how do we anchor our lives in the source while we're here on earth and keeping our balance and growing higher toward the light of consciousness? While it's easy to imagine a vast network of roots that support us, we're going to focus on 4 simple ones today: principle, faith, prayer, and community. Now, for those gardeners among us, I think we're going to start with spiritual principle as the taproot that sustains us. A principle, you know, is a rule that never changes. In my house, my mom made the rules. So we had our run-of-the-mill kind of no rules, like no running with scissors, no touching the hot stove, no jumping out of the barn loft. But we also had lots of yes rules as well. Yes, hugs and kisses were available for the taking all day long. Yes, I am always on your side, no matter what. And yes, I encourage you in all your wacky creativity. And I say, yes, you can. I know you can do it. Now, spiritual principles are rules of the universe that govern all people everywhere, all the time. They are the basics of our spiritual lives, our tools for living, the laws that we can count on, the unchangeable truths of our being. Truth principles anchor us because they can really be applied to any situation that comes up in our lives. They give us answers to all those giant questions we have about life. Questions like, who and what are we? Why do things happen in our lives the way they do? And why are we here? Using simple, direct truth principles, we can know what to do and how to do it. Truths that we're familiar with today, like God is the loving source of all there is, one power, everywhere present. We are all individual expressions of God and all inherently good. We embrace our purpose to express our divine potential, and we are here to be positive examples for others and to help make the world a better place. Just as oaks grow from tiny acorns, as divine children of God, we embrace and nurture our potential to thrive and grow spiritually as we remain rooted in these truths. So if principles are our sturdy handrails to guide us in our daily path, they're really just words on a page if we don't have the faith to trust them. You know, I can't think of anybody else in the world who had more faith in me than my mother. When I was a goofy teenager, she had the faith to trust me to drive the family car. I could hardly believe that. In college in the 60s, her faith-filled letters and phone calls kept me focused and encouraged me. And even when I chose to make my living in the theater, she had faith and certainty that I would get hired to do what was my heart's desire, and she let me go to try my wings. My mother had faith in the infinite possibilities of life. Faith that helps us see an opportunity where our human side might see an obstacle. Where we might anticipate a problem, faith can see unlimited potential. When we might feel the pinch of lack or limitation, faith helps us know that abundance is always available. Faith gives us wings as it throws open the doors of our minds and allows us to become independent thinkers. When we exercise our faith in God, our thinking is unlimited. We exercise our faith through our prayers. By a show of hands, who was taught to pray by their mom? Absolutely. Very good. From now I lay me down to sleep to learning the Lord's Prayer, my guess is that our mothers or somebody else's mom probably had the hand in teaching us to pray. But as adults here in Unity and New Thought, we know that prayer is the highest form of creative thinking because prayer is where spirit meets language, where our words clarify our thoughts and call forth what we want from God's infinite possibilities. Using our principles with our prayers, we're the ones deciding what shows up in our lives through our focus, our thoughts, and our words. Affirmative prayer not only roots us in the consciousness of God, it lifts us and others up when we pray as surely as if we had wings. When we pray from a consciousness of God, we see the wholeness and beauty already available in every person, and we use our prayers to affirm and acknowledge this and give thanks for the truth. While principle and faith and prayer are all aspects of our spiritual practice that can be pursued individually, how much greater can our impact be for doing good in the world than when we come together in community? Our spiritual community is our chosen family. We support one another in our spiritual practice. We bounce ideas and thoughts off each other, and we offer compassion and moral support. When we gather, we bear witness to each other's lives, and we remind each other that who we are matters, and that our presence on the earth makes a difference. Thank goodness, just because our spiritual practice is often focused within, it doesn't mean that we have to be lone wolves or that lonely tree out on the savannah. Community is a healthy and vibrant part of our spirituality. All people are hungry for connection, and our community allows us to be acknowledged and appreciated, well received and supported by others. Something extraordinary happens when we come together at the soul level. When we join with our community, we're connecting with the energy of joy, of love and satisfaction and peace that comes with knowing we are not alone on our journey through life. To share our journey with others is really what it's all about. And that's why there's more than one of us on the planet. Author Dennis Merritt Jones says, "I have long defined friendship as a vessel in which two or more souls journey toward a common destination, the realization of our oneness with God. This is where the journey and the destination really become one and the same, revealing what is real, the sacred space where who we are spills over into another's being. With deep roots and a firm foundation in principle, faith, and prayer, this community and each individual who stands as tall as the trees this morning embraces all the good that God provides and radiates that energy of good out into the world, and I am so grateful." I want us to wrap up this morning with a wonderful poem I just discovered by Mary Oliver. I know she has many fans here. She loves the natural world, especially trees, and trees figure a lot into her poetry. I came across this one that seems so fitting for Mother's Day, as we celebrate with our mothers here this morning and those with us in spirit. It's called About Angels and About Trees by Mary Oliver. Where do angels fly in the firmament? And how many can dance on the head of a pin? Well, I don't care about that pin dance. What I know is that they rest sometimes in the tops of trees. And you can see them, or almost see them, or anyway think, what a wonderful idea. I have lost, as you and others have possibly lost, a beloved one, and wonder, where are they now? The trees, anyway, are miraculous, full of angels and ideas. When empty, they're a good place to look to put the heart at rest. All those leaves breathing the air so peaceful and diligent, and certainly ready to be the resting place of strange winged creatures that we in this world have loved. Happy Mother's Day. And so it is.